tuned in this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks. And plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Steps away to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, there was a half-dozen sacks, and here's one on the opening drive.
It has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play, because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So likely a 3-and-out on their opening drive. That's not a good omen for a team that's lost 3 straight games.
Too many threes that you're mentioning right there. That's a number they've got to get off of. And the big risk you're running right now is discouragement amongst the ranks. How do you keep them up? How do you keep them motivated? They've got to dial up something to give themselves some confidence.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now Wilson. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully. Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's up. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
61. Matchbox.
Second and 5 now. Wilson. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 12-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop.
Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Myers connects on the PAT. score 7-0. Touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
Here's Johnson again on second down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Giants. Ty Johnson, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point try good by Gano. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's 2nd and 8. Buying time to his left. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. He was pretty good a year ago in college, getting outside of the pocket and making plays, but it's a different story here in the NFL.
Well, in college, when he broke out of the pocket, his receivers often knew what to do in a scramble drill. And defenders weren't quite as adept at that. In the NFL, they work on that as well. They realize once he's out of the pocket, you can knock a receiver down. You can take him out of the play that way. You can make sure you hunt him up and make sure that you have him covered downfield. They do a much better job of it. He's got to learn that the speed has changed on this level.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Play action. It's Wilson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. 7-7, our score after one. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant from 19 yards away. And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 14-7. Touchdown. Here's Myers to boot it away. Here comes Marquez Stevenson now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it, a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that, but that would have been a big play. But he could not pull it in.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Come on. Hey. Unlock line.
Johnson running left. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage. And that throw had no shot.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It lulls things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you, because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now 21-7. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Stevenson now is going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And the catch made by Johnson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. They'll try the left side. It's Gray. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
They run again here with Gray. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got a man, Slayton. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 19. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there. And it's 2nd down.
But that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Yannick Ngakoue. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. They'll set up a throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Let's go on fourth, but come up empty. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Walker now on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Kenneth Walker with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Stevenson now, he's going to bring this out. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they try to go for it on 4th down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. From the 22, Wilson. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Wilson on the keeper. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Myers connects on the PAT. And a rout is on here in this first half. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Stevenson now is going to bring this out. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. From the end zone, here comes Eskridge. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On third down, Wilson. Hard throw, incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. The bottom line is it officially becomes impossible that this possession is an empty one.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Dexter Lawrence that time in on the stop. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that discipline.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. picked off by Caleb Farley. There he goes, left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception lows they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. They'll look to throw here. That ball caught by Slayton. It's a big play for the Giants on third down. And even 40 yards. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll run on first down. Gray, and not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down.
No, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
Eluding the pressure right. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. It's their quarterback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Giants are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Gano the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 113 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. They run again with Walker. Bobby Okereke making that tackle. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Seattle. 45 yards.
Even with a big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
It's complete left side to Aguilar. And he is out of bounds here. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Stevenson now is going to bring this out. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. You see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Come on. Hey.
Now back to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw. He'll check this down to Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. From the gun, it's Walker. Shoves him aside. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 149 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. Here's Walker. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Now it's Lockett. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 17, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Continuing to keep their foot on the gas, and it looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long. When they throw the football, they're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they make. And there's another one there, and they continue to have that fun that you just talked about.
Wilson wants to throw it. And that is incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Giants are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Returnable for Lockett. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early. But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this.